I was in Lidl last Tuesday, normal shop, bread, milk, a few bits. And when I went to leave, there was a gate, a physical barrier across the exit. It would not open until I scanned my receipt. Not a sign, not a member of staff asking politely. An actual metal gate between me and the door that assumed I might be a thief until I proved otherwise. I stood there for a second and thought, when did this become normal? Because here's the thing, the gate is small, easy to walk past without a second thought. But once you understand what it is telling you, you start seeing the same signal everywhere. And it confirms something a lot of you have already been feeling in your own lives for a while now. Welcome back to Charlie Survival. Quick one before we get into it. If you find this useful, hit subscribe because this channel is about reading the world around you calmly and staying a step ahead. And do me a favour, drop a comment and tell me whether you've noticed this at your local shop. Which supermarket, which town? I'm genuinely curious how far this is spread. And the comments are turning into a better map than anything I can put together on my own. Right, let me show you what I'm actually seeing. Let me be clear about what this is and isn't. This is not a statistic I read. This is what I've seen with my own eyes over the last few months, going about an ordinary week. In Lidl, the exit gate. Scan your receipt, the barrier opens. Don't scan, it stays shut. In my local Morrison's, the layout changed around the same time. You come in through the same narrow gateway, and you go through some quite intimidating gates at the self-checkout. Aldi, security guards at the door at peak times, not behind a desk in the back, at the door, standing, watching. And the cop near me now has security tags on things that would have been unthinkable 3 years ago. Not the spirits and razor blades, I mean cheese, coffee, tins of baby formula behind a locked screen. Security tags on everyday groceries like chocolate. Locked product cabinets, one-way entry signage. Now, individually you could shrug any one of those off, just one shop, just one branch, but when you start seeing all of them across different chains in different towns, that is not a coincidence anymore, that is a pattern. And once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. You'll be standing in your own supermarket this week and you'll spot 3 of these things before you've reached the bread aisle. So the gates are real, the shift is real, but noticing it isn't the interesting part. The interesting part is the question almost nobody stops to ask at the till. Why is this happening? Because the answer is not what most people assume, and it tells you something quite important about the direction this country is moving in. Why it's happening, the real story. Let me give you a number that reframes everything. According to the British Retail Consortium, that's the trade body for Tesco, Lidl, Aldi, Sainsbury's, the Co-op, most of the big names. There were around 5.5 million detected incidents of shop theft in this country last year. 5.5 million, and that's only the ones they caught. The retailers themselves admit the real figure is far higher because most of it never gets reported at all. Now, sit with that for a moment. 5.5 million. That works out a theft roughly every 6 seconds as shops are open. And in response, the retail industry has spent more than £5 billion on security in the last 5 years alone. Guards, cameras, tagging, and yes, one-way entry and exit systems. The exact gate I walked into in Lidl, it's not a glitch, it's straight out of their own loss prevention playbook. So when you stand at that barrier and feel mildly insulted, that gate isn't really about you, it's about the maths. The chains are losing a fortune, and that gate is the cheapest wall they can build. But here's where it gets more interesting, and this is the bit that actually matters. It's who is doing the stealing, and from everything the retailers themselves are saying, this isn't just one type of theft, it's 3 things happening at once. Some of it is organised crime. Gangs hitting multiple branches in a day, going for the high value, easy to resell stuff. Alcohol, cosmetics, meat, baby formula. That's well documented and it's serious. And some of it clearly is desperation. People under real pressure making decisions they probably never have imagined making a few years ago. And you can see it in what's going missing, not luxuries, food, cheese, coffee, everyday essentials. And that is the real story. The gate is not the cause of anything. The gate is a symptom, a physical, visible symptom of a country where the cost of living has pushed ordinary people to a point that would have been unthinkable a decade ago. The barrier in Lidl isn't a security story, it's an economic story wearing a security uniform. What it actually confirms. So let me come back to the title. What does this confirm? It confirms what you already feel every time you stand at the checkout. You're not imagining it. The weekly shop costs more than it did. Things you used to buy without thinking now make you pause. And the squeeze you feel in your own bank account is the exact same pressure that's putting guards on the door and tags on cheese. It's all the same thing. The cost of all that theft and the security to stop it gets passed straight back to us. And some estimates have put that around 11 pence on every transaction. So you're quite literally paying at the till for a crisis that the cost of living squeeze created in the first place. You pay once in higher prices and again in the gate that treats you like a suspect on the way out. That gate is a mirror showing you in metal and plastic something most of this country can feel but can't quite point to. The quiet, high trust Britain a lot of us grew up in, where you walked into a shop, you browsed, you brought what you wanted and nobody assumed the worst of you. That version of the high street is quietly changing, not because of one dramatic event, because of a slow grinding pressure that's worth understanding and it's worth preparing for, not in a panic, in a calm, sensible, very practical way. If you want the preparedness survival kit I actually use, sensible, UK appropriate, no nonsense, my Charlie Survival Amazon kit list is linked in the description. I've also got a free blackout checklist pinned in the top comment, and that's the easiest place to start. If you do want a full UK preparedness plan rather than bits and pieces, my course, the UK Crisis Readiness System, is now helping over 70 members build this properly. It's currently half price and that sale ends in a couple of days, so grab it if you've been thinking about it now. So what do you actually do with this information? 3 things, calm and simple. First, awareness. The fact that supermarkets are spending billions on barriers tells you something about the world those shops operate in. You don't need to be anxious about it, you just need to notice it. When the environment around you changes, that's information. File it away. A person who reads their surroundings calmly is always a step ahead of the person who never looks up. Second, your relationship with the weekly shop. This is the big one and it's the most useful when prices are rising and essentials are the things going short. The sensible move is to stop shopping hand to mouth. Build a modest buffer, not a bunker, not a year's supply of tinned beans in the spare room, just a sensible cushion of the things your household actually eats. Brought a bit ahead when they're cheap, so you're choosing when to shop rather than being forced to. Here's why that matters more than people realise. A household with a reasonable food reserve doesn't need to buy in a tense, busy supermarket on a Friday evening. You go when you choose to, not when you've run out and you've no options. That single habit takes pressure off, financially and otherwise, and it puts you ahead of most people without any drama at all. Third, keep your wits about you. With more theft and sadly more aggression in shops, confrontations between staff and shoplifters are up. Just be a calm, aware presence. Know where the exits are. Don't get drawn into someone else's situation. This isn't fear, it's the same low-level awareness you'd want walking through any busy public space. None of this is about being scared, it's about being the calm, prepared one, the person who's already thought about it, so they don't have to scramble when everyone else is. I want to finish with something a bit broader because I think about this a lot. A single gate in Lidl is a small thing, but small things are often the ones worth watching, not the dramatic headlines, the quiet changes that slowly become normal. Because by the time something is normal, you've usually stopped questioning it. 3 years ago, you walked into a supermarket, picked up your shopping and left. Nobody made you prove your innocence on the way out. Today, in a growing number of shops, you're treated as a potential thief until a receipt scanner says otherwise. That's not a national emergency, but it is a real measurable change in how everyday British life works. And it didn't arrive with an announcement, it just appeared. Chain by chain, gate by gate, until it was everywhere. Noticing this isn't to be alarmed, it's the opposite. The people who see these signs early are the people who stay calm when others don't. Because nothing catches them by surprise, they've already read the environment, they've already done the boring, sensible preparation. So when the weekly shop gets harder or the prices jump again, they're steady, they chose their moment a long time ago. That's what this channel is about, not panic, not doom, just reading the world honestly and being a little bit more prepared than you were yesterday. So that's what I'm seeing and I genuinely want to know if you're seeing it too. Leave a comment and tell me which shops near you have the gates, the guards, the tagged up basics. Tell me if it felt strange the first time or whether you've already stopped noticing. This community spots things most people walk straight past and I read every one. If this was useful, subscribe, it's free and it keeps this kind of calm, practical thinking turning up in your feed. For your easiest next step, grab the free blackout checklist in the pinned comment. 1 page, no cost, covers the household basics most people haven't quite got sorted. If you want the gear I actually use, the Charlie Survival Amazon kit list is in the description. And if you decide you want your UK home to be completely prepared, grab my course while it's half price, the UK Crisis Readiness System. The free checklist gets you started, the course is for when you want to finish the job properly. If you're struggling with the UK heatwave, I highly recommend watching this video on screen next about how to prepare for a UK heatwave. Click it and I'll see you over there.